Now, is there like a defining moment in your career when you knew like you were in the right field?
I don't know. I don't think there was. I mean, I think it's in my bones to just do this. Like, I think once I worked at Porta Chima, I was like, this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life. I was like, I love this. And then just
Good.
digging into the philosophy of it and what really matters, what hospitality is really all about. I'm like, that's what I want to do. I'm dedicating my entire life to doing this. So I'm just going to, I double down on it every day, go home, learn about it, come to work, do some more learning. You know what I mean? I don't think there's one defining moment. I think it was just doing it.
Hello, welcome to the Sauce Podcast. I'm your host, Lauren, and I'm here with Brandon Oker. He is the executive chef at Pastaria, and he is also part of our Ones to Watch feature in our February issue. So, can you just tell us a little bit about your role over at Pastaria?
Yeah, so I'm the executive chef. I started there in October doing that. My role is just really keeping it together, for the team, along with everything that niche is a part of, like evolving chefs and training them, so they can take the next steps in their career, mentorship, stuff like that, recipe development. Yeah.
Okay, and how did you get to the point that you became an executive chef?
Oh,
Take us back to the beginning of your cooking days.
all right. So I come from Lake of the Ozarks. Grew up in a town of 300 people called Max Creek, Missouri. Um, Kind of got into it. I started one day. I took a job with my sister-in-law at a Mexican restaurant, local Mexican restaurant, as a dishwasher. And by the end of the shift, I quit.
Oh,
My
no.
feet hurt so bad. And I was like, this sucks. Like, I'm never gonna do this. But then, so that was my sister-in-law, and she like stuck her neck out for me to get that job. And so my brother was like, you're gonna come work for me. And then I started my career at this country club called Porta Chima out there, owned by the same people that own Lodge of the Four Seasons, or at
Oh,
least then they did. Um, and I kind of just, went from there. Started as a dishwasher. I, you know, clawed my way to the line. After I got my dishes done, I'd go and ask the line cooks, "What do you need? What do you need? Let me help." And eventually, the chef was like, "All right, stop asking. We'll throw you on the line." And from the first time I saw, like, we had this salad. It was called a sunburst salad. It was like so 90s. Like, it was so far. It was, yeah, it was kind of old looking, but all the guests really liked it. And it was like this salad with like little mandarins on the rim of the plate
oh,
that looks like,
uh-huh.
a sun. And I remember I saw it like go out, and I looked through like the little porthole on the doors to the kitchen, and the guest, I saw the reaction to it, and they're like, "Oh my God." And I was like, that was pretty cool. That's
Oh,
like instant gratification,
yeah,
and I think that's one of the reasons why I like cooking. I just like seeing other people be happy,
yeah.
for the most part.
For the most part,
Yeah,
I'd
of
say
course.
so.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then from there went from, Northwest Arkansas, worked up there, at another country club, Pinnacle Country Club. Went back to Lake of the Ozarks to work for the original chef again from Porta Chima, and then was staging in St. Louis. And I was like, I want to move here eventually. And I started a family in Lake of the Ozarks. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to get anywhere here at the lake.
Mhm.
Um, so let me like broaden my horizons. And at that time, I was working at Margaritaville
Oh,
as executive sous chef for the whole property. There was like 8 different outlets,
oh, wow.
1,500 plus rooms. It was absolutely insane every day. And I got sick and tired of listening to Jimmy Buffett. Uh, so I was like, all right, let's make the move. And then applied online to Brasserie. And this was in maybe a year or two after Bo had opened. And Evie Swoboda, picked up the phone, and she was like, hey, why don't you come stage at Bowood? And I fell in love with it. And here I am, 3 years later with the 3.5 years later with the company. Just worked my way up. Yeah, from cook to executive chef.
And what do you think it is about you that led you to work your way up so quickly?
Honestly, I really think it was my upbringing. We grew up really poor. Like, we didn't really have access to food. Like, A lot of people do. Like, it's a town of 300 people. It wasn't much around. It's a small farming community. You had to drive 30 minutes just to get anywhere to work a job, at like a business. Um, and part of that was like, we didn't have central heating or cooling.
Oh,
We survived off like a wood stove that was in the middle of the living room. And like that didn't even pass the air, to the other rooms. It was like only in there.
wow.
So, I mean, there was a lot of rough winters growing up where we had to go on my grandma's property, chop down wood. I'm like 12 years old using a split and maul to chop wood. And it was hard. And we'd have to do it in the middle of an ice storm. And it's like, well, that's what you got to do to survive. This is part of working. And I'm so thankful that that was part of my upbringing. It really taught me a lot, to be a hard worker. And then also, like, my older brother, him being there, working with him at that technically second job at the country
Mhm.
club, he really was like, "This is how you work hard, no matter what." Like, even if you're shoveling poop
Oh,
or
no.
cleaning toilets, you take pride in what you're doing. And so I
Yeah.
kind of took that, and ran with it, and all the way to the almost the top.
So what does your day-to-day look like?
So usually it starts with waking up at like 6:30 or 7 in the morning and looking at emails,
Uh-huh. Same.
trying to get everything together, looking, what's going on in the restaurant group text. Someone called off, someone hurt themselves, taking care of that. And then it kind of depends on the day. We get orders, certain days of the week from certain purveyors. But yeah, I mean, it's like a lot of research that I do. I mean, constantly when I get home, I'm like watching Italian cooking or like French cooking. Like I love watching Julia Childs on YouTube
Nice.
because they're adding all of her episodes on there. Um, so I'll like wake up, have a cup of coffee with my partner. We'll hang out, watch the news, and then work time, and then it's I usually get to work either 9 or 10, and then I'm there till like 11 or midnight.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it's part of it.
Uh-huh.
Luckily, I'm kind of actually just changing the schedule recently to working 4 days because I think that's so important for everyone.
Yeah.
A day to rest, a day to have fun, and a day to get your stuff done that you need as like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
so good. And I think it's so important for, mental health in this industry.
Certainly.
So we're getting there though. It's a work in progress.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why do you think that you were pitched to me as a ones to watch?
That's a really good question. I don't,
Obviously, somebody saw something in you.
I, you know, I don't know. I have a lot of it's really hard to think about that. Like, there's so many reasons that it could be.
Hmm.
I really love food. I love everything, and there's a lot of philosophy behind food that I don't think the world recognizes right now because it can't be monetized. And like I recognize that, me growing up not having access to the food and eating like butter noodles
Mm.
or like a peanut butter sandwich and that's it, for like weeks on end. It kind of gave me a new perspective on like how everyone else feels about food. Like, I don't know, do you know who Dan Juicy is?
I don't.
So he was executive chef at Noma
Oh,
for a long time. He
okay.
just started a company that it's called Brigade, and they go into schools and they set up the schools with like these amazing lunch programs. And he's basically running Michelin star kitchens out of these schools because
Wow.
that's ultimately what matters, right? And maybe that's why they picked me. Maybe it's because I my plates look pretty because I really care about the history. Um, I love the culture of food, every little tidbit about it. I don't know.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm just a regular guy,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, we all start out that way, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we all start out that way, build our way up. So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
This February, St. Louis Union Station is the heart of Valentine's celebrations with Violets, an immersive, dark, and intimate cocktail pop up at the train shed. Lushly decorated with dimmed lights and greenery, the space offers a romantic getaway for lovers, friends, and daters all month long. Violets features 8 specialty cocktails crafted with vodka, whiskey, tequila, rum, and more, designed to match the dramatic mood. Violets begins February 1st at the train shed. Learn more at trainshed-stl.com. Well, I know that you have some pretty interesting ideas for potential concepts that you might like to open one day. So why don't you tell us a little bit about a couple of those?
Yeah, so like I'm absolutely in love with French food. I love it. I love everything about it. Working, at an Italian spot, I spent the last, 14 years studying French food. Um, and like going into Italian food, it's even older than it was the beginning of like written down recipes. So that's a whole new concept for me. But I've spent the last 14 years of being in love with French food, and one of the concepts that I would love to open one day. Me and my girlfriend were talking about it. Like a French, oh, like a French hunting lodge type deal,
Oh, that's fun.
and like maybe or so, we were also talking about like there's so many different ways I would like to express my love for the French food. I mean, you got bouchons, brasseries, bistros, and all those concepts could be fun and inventive, you know, um, depending on honestly where you're at in whatever part of the city or the country. But I think it would be really cool, to do a French like a French style hunting lodge. And I think a lot about Joe Beef when I think about that. They do like I don't know if you've ever seen that episode of No Reservations with Anthony Bourdain,
I don't think I
where they
did.
go with. Do you know who Joe Beef is?
No.
So Joe Beef, it's a restaurant in Montreal, Canada, the French part of Canada, of course, and they do just like the sickest stuff. Like they do like a foie gras double down, which is like
Oh,
just two pieces of foie gras that are deep fried with like cheese and ham in the middle.
huh.
Insane, it's crazy. But there's that episode where they just go out on the ice and they have a little shack and they're ice fishing and Tony's just eating foie gras and caviar out there on the ice while they're ice fishing. And I think that's really cool, and it's just like the hospitality of doing that. Like maybe we didn't catch anything, but at least we got foie gras
Yeah,
caviar, which is
it's
always
fine.
fun. But yeah, I think a French hunting lodge would be really cool, super seasonal, um, with mainly like wild game,
Okay.
Yeah, thinking about I forget what it's called in French, but French for in the middle.
Oh,
You're just kinda in the middle of everything.
I don't speak
I
French.
don't speak Fr I'm getting there.
Are
Well,
you?
yeah, one
Cool.
day, but yeah, and then, yeah, sandwich shops, stuff like that would be really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, French food needs to make a big comeback in the States.
Yeah.
It seems like everything's, like, going, like, Asian or, like, Thai, which is super cool too.
Yeah.
Love that. Thai food is insane. Um, but also, I mean, just the culture of all the French food, all the history is just super nice.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Have you been to France?
no, not
It's on
yet.
my list as well.
Yeah, one day I'll get there, I
Yeah.
promise, yeah. I would love to go to France. I think the first place I'd go is probably, Ducas's.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. That
yeah,
would be awesome.
yeah, it'd be sick.
Okay. Well, what do you like to do for fun?
I have a 5-year-old son, his name's Winston, um, so he takes up a lot of time. We go to the library, read books, watch movies, hang out, play video games together, uh, color, read. I also would love, you know, part of the reason like why I work so hard in doing what I do is to like build an empire for him so he never had to like go through the same struggles as I did, which is should be every parent's dream, their goal. Um so like we spent a lot of time in the kitchen together. He was just helping me make tortellini the other day.
Oh.
Yeah, his were a lot smaller than mine, of course, but and he's just such a smart kid and he's so sweet and so me, him and my partner, we go out. I really like cooking for family meals. Every Sunday we go to my girlfriend's parents' house and we just have dinner together and talk and have a drink. That's on Sunday, and then Mondays. Usually have off Mondays. Um, Me and my girlfriend just invite friends over, like whatever friends we have, and we cook dinner. And that's honestly where like a lot of my menu testing comes from. Is like trying out recipes at home before I bring them in. Like, is it good? Will it work out? How's it scalable? But
Smart.
And it's really nice because a lot of the friends that I have are like chefs, so they're like in there with me cooking. We're just hanging out and drinking some wine. Yeah, that's what I like to do for fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
What restaurants do you like to go to around town?
I'm gonna say something kind of controversial. I think one of the best restaurants in town, even though it's a chain, is Chili Spot over by Costco
Oh,
on
yeah.
Olive.
Uh-huh.
Their fried chicken, their little popcorn chicken, and their marinated cucumbers are incredible.
Yeah.
They are so good. We bought it for I bought some for family meal on New Year's Eve for Pastaria, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, like I can't believe how good this is."
Nice.
So yeah, I love going there. I also me and my girlfriend, we frequent because it's right around the corner from where we live. Uh oh man, what is that? That coffee shop. I can't remember what the coffee shop.
Where do you live?
Uh Southampton. I live on
Oh.
Southampton
Um,
over there by Bud's Pizza. That
uh-huh.
coffee shop. Not Scooters. That's the
No. Pipers?
Oh yeah.
Is
So
it
yeah,
Pipers?
me and my girlfriend like to frequent Piper's Coffee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we go in
Nice.
there and we just like read our books or whatever. She blogs. She does a lot of blogging.
Oh, cool.
And then I'm just in there reading whatever cookbook I choose for the day. And just
Okay.
go through it, notes, yeah, stuff
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
So do you do like a lot of new dishes for Pastaria, or is it refining what's already on the menu?
So that's the thing about Pastaria is like I'm taking I've taken over an institution, and a lot of the things there are sacred, and that's not something I really want to mess with. Because it doesn't need messing with. Everything there is like really great. Tim Mims, he does all the dough there, and his noodles are perfect. They're always so good. And like a lot of the recipes are great too. Like our bolognese recipe, I don't think there's any reason to change something like that. It's just
Hmm.
absolutely perfect the way it is. Um, a lot of the things that I like to focus on are like the seasonality of like the vegetables. So we change the vegetables out as side dishes, and then also like doing the appetizers. So like George Mahey came in and I gave him some like fried squash rings or whatever, and they're
Mm.
like delicata squash. And I got the idea, I think from I forget what the chef's name is, but Chef Baxter from he used to be the chef at Cat Birdseed, but he did these like delicata like squash donuts. Um, and they were really delicious. And we just tossed them in like honey and Malden salt, served them with like clabbery and aioli. It was a huge hit.
Sounds good.
It was so good. It was so good. George May, he was like, "Oh my god." Yeah, which was
Well, if you get his stamp of approval.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, that's the kind of dishes that I like to put on, and we're still messing with, new noodle shapes. I mean, the dyes to extrude the pasta are super expensive, so we're looking more like we need to work on like filled pasta doughs, which is why me and my son were doing tortellini the other day. Um, so yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So what's the most rewarding part of the job?
Man, when all my employees are happy,
Oh,
and they're happy with me and they're happy with the day and they feel accomplished at the end. Every restaurant has bad days. Um, but when the staff feels like they killed it that dinner service and we just fed 450, 500 people and they feel good, that makes me feel like I've done my job correctly. And that is the most rewarding at the end of the day.
I love that.
Yeah.
And how long has Pastaria been open?
I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure I think it's been open for around 12 to 15 years, something like
Yeah.
that, something in
And
that
I
range.
mean, it's a super popular spot. Why do you think that it's, staying open when so many places are closing right now?
So here's the thing, Gerard talked to me about this when I first took over the spot, and it really makes a lot of sense. He likes to look at it as like a very democratic spot. It's not super expensive. The pastas are pretty cheap. It's an insane amount of food. You can take it home and eat it the next day. Um, but it's a democratic place. We want. He's built the culture there. Where the mayor of the city could come in and eat, and then a landscaping crew can come in and eat. And it's kind of like in Italy, like they have the food halls for all the workers. They just come in and eat, and it's kind of like that experience. Like everyone it's an equal playing ground, for everyone. There's no
Yeah.
like, so I think that's one of the most attractive things about it. It's not super dressed up. It's it's very just like, this is pasta, this is what we do. We're not trying to do we're just trying to be as authentic as we can to the cuisine where we are in the States, right? And then also it being so family friendly. We
That
have
helps.
lots of kids,
Hmm.
and it's been crazy, because the open concept, like the kitchen is a open concept, and there's this one dad that comes in with his two boys like once a week. And I ever since I've started there, they've been coming, and I wonder how long they've been coming there before I started, but like I look at them, I'm like, if they keep coming here, I'm gonna watch these kids grow up.
That's cool.
It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of, and like we kind of, me and this guy, he only comes in once a week, and sometimes I'm too busy, but I like to go talk to him and be like, hey, how you doing?
Hmm.
Good to see you again. Thank you for coming in, and talking with us and sitting at the pass with us. It's like really nice,
Yeah.
you know? So
That's
I
cool.
think people like that aspect of the restaurant as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, is there like a defining moment in your career when you knew like you were in the right field?
Oh, I don't know if there really was. I don't know. I don't think there was. I mean, I think it's in my bones to just do this. Like I think once I worked at at Porta Chima, I was like, this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life. I was like, I love this. And then just
Good.
digging into the philosophy of it and what really matters, what hospitality is really all about. I'm like, that's what I want to do. I'm dedicating my entire life to doing this. Um, so I'm just gonna, I double down on it every day. Go home, learn about it. Come to work, do some more learning. You know what I mean? I don't think there's one defining moment. I think it was just doing it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So
Is there anything else you want to add?
Pastaria open 7 days a week, 4 to 9 p.m. You can follow them on Instagram, and you can follow me on Instagram at the Epicurean brand. Um, yeah, check us out. Come say hi. Come sit at the pass.
Okay. Thanks for stopping by.
Sick. Thank you.